So these are some dwarf Scheffleras I have at the office. I've shown them in a previous video. Got one over here and one over here. These have been grown in this office, maybe not in this room, but in this office building for like 10 years or so. Just in a large pot, and just kind of like this, right? Grown out. And I ended up taking it, turning it into 3 different bonsai. I have 2 here and 1 at home. And then I took all of the cuttings and just put them in this black pot, and they root really easily. There was a 100% success rate with the rooting. But when I was looking at this one, you know, I already have a double over here, and this one's a little bit funky, the way that it is. But it's getting too tall. Leaves are too big. Obviously, I can cut the large leaves off and get them to be smaller, but overall it's too tall. And I think when I'm looking at this, this main trunk here is just too thick. It doesn't have enough taper. Whereas this one has better taper. So I think I'm going to be cutting this one off here, and it'll go from a thicker trunk down to a taper one. It'll have the height in check, take off some of the big leaves, and then also right where there's 2, it's getting pretty thick right here. It's bulging. I'll turn it a little bit if you can see that. So I've watched that get bigger, and I don't want an inverse taper. So not too much I can do to really clean up that bulge without really scarring the tree, but I am gonna, you know, cut it off here and just keep this one, and then I'll take and put this one in this pot with it just until everything gets rooted. And I plan on just kind of like, you know, letting stuff grow until they get a little bigger, and then pull them out and separate them out and stuff. But you can see where I chopped this one previously, and it grew another branch, and that's one of these that are in here. So I'll try to get this as best as I can, because I'm at work just doing this on my phone, so. I'll try to do a little bit of an angle. There we go. This has a nice little, I think this has a nice little flare. Oh, sorry, bad focus here. It's got a nice little flare to it. I probably don't even need to, but I'm gonna throw a little root hormone on that. And then what I'll do is just take a pin, make a little hole for it. And we'll get it in there pretty decently. I will be able to pull that out later, depending upon where the roots decide to come out at. So yeah, I think that's should be fine like that. We'll see how it goes. These things are pretty hardy. I mean, this has been in this office for like 10 years, and it's probably been, you know, some of these have been cared for totally randomly by people, probably overwatered, underwatered, all sorts of stuff, and they've lived, you know, up until the point that I've gotten them and have taken them over and paid close attention to them. But I'll try to clean this up here. I don't have my concave cutters. I just brought these scissors. Because that could be cleaned up a little bit more, because as it heals over, it'll kind of create a little bit of a lump. Probably sits in the pot a little bit, you know, weird now that it's just one. But that's fine. I will be repotting this coming up here soon. So I think it's been in this pot for about a year or so, and it could be pulled out and do some root work to it and see. I guess I will take off a couple of these big branches here, and you leave a little bit of petiole on, and the petiole will just turn yellow and fall off. But the leaf size is getting way too big, so I'm going to go ahead and basically defoliate it and let it grow some new ones. I mean, there's one there that's just starting, so yeah, I think that is going to improve this one, because then it has a nice, you know, thick trunk that gets smaller, and try to keep it a little bit short. So cool. Thank you very much for watching.